Okay, finally got that fixed. Like last night I had a live up, but it got cut off abruptly, so I figured, hey Kayla, is there, just that way I know, is there an option to like to have like the a super chat be done? Because that way I know that it's turned on. No, you don't have to actually do one. Oh, blinded me. I haven't used this thing in a while. Like if there's a dollar, I guess a dollar sign somewhere that you can. Okay. Damn it, Zeus. Cupcake. Don't make me get up and put duct tape over your mouth. Oy. But yeah, anyway, yeah, my monetization finally got approved 3,000 years later. Zeus, stick it. Okay, kinky. Okay, good. Perfect. And now you. So now, like, literally now, if anybody's like, oh, here's some, whatever for some cardstock to be thrown, okay. Or like, whenever somebody's like, notice me with a question, okay. Now I can actually get people, now I can actually, like, get kind of technically compensated for it. And, what else is new? I think automatically, like, all my other videos got monetized, so I don't know where the ads are at. I just pretty much just put it as, like, okay, just make sure there's not over excessive. Don't bark. Don't do it. But yeah, so, kinky. So without further ado, well, not doo-doo, but anyway, so yeah, so right now it's really a cold open floor. He was. And I mean, I'm more of a cat person, because a cat is just like, what do you want, human? Fine, pet me. Stop, now go away. Oh, hear me, you're not doing anything important? Okay, hi cat. But I don't have a cat yet. Like I've said before, I want a Russian blue named Reginald. Reginald. All the things to name it Reginald. Oh, Reginald! Yeah, he's an Englishman. Other than that, really everything has been somewhat the same. Oh, wait a minute, I just remembered something. Lately, Savannah, isn't that a kind of cat breed that's like from like native from Africa? Hello, Annis. Nice to know that mine. And hi, Divya. Is that how you say your name? Divya. Right, wrong, left. If I said it wrong, you can hit me with a stick. Practical blunts. And there's. Okay. And hello, Ron. Ah, okay, now everybody's here. Yeah, Divya. Okay, perfect. So yeah, now looks like a lot have everybody has appeared. Oh my gosh, that almost fell and broke, but who cares? So yeah, really, as usual, it's all open floor. God darn you, nasties! Open floor for readings of whatever. Just say demons or goddesses, and number. Pick either 1 or 2. I guess I got nothing. Or any other questions, and if you deem it fit now, you can actually throw soup. I haven't had a drink of water in like a few hours, so I'm like, ugh. But if you deem fit, now you can use super chats if you deem it fit. Now don't be. Okay, there you go, Ethan. Perfect. Okay. In fact, Lucifer is probably one of, if not the most open to work with. Easy, don't blow that away. One of the most simplest left-hand divines to go towards, because when he speaks, it's like you're talking to honey. But yes, you can now do super chats whenever you deem fit, just whenever. And now that doesn't mean to spam super chats being like, here's a buck. Hey, pay attention to me. $1, $1, $1, $1. No, don't be like doing super chat machine gun frenzy of $1 super chats. Don't do that. I mean, because it'd be like, oh crap, now my phone's lagging. Okay, so let's see. What on earth? Just, okay, one shuffle, fine. Just one, fine. I'll go with it, fine. Okay, here's your card. So, Ethan, speaking of, don't you just love it when that happens? Yeah. Nope. And there's your card. I know it was planned. Okay, Lilith in the 10th house with K2 in Aries of Barney. So that means you would be a Cancer Lugna, right? Where's your moon placed? Because in order to really know how Lilith is going to behave, I just need to know also where moon's at, because Lilith needs moon in order to exist. So she has moon as like a dispositor kind of a thing. Not really Mars though, just mainly moon. So yeah, Ethan. I don't think I need to say any more because, well, he said he would work with me, but there you go. Vishaka in the 4th with Rahu, Jupiter, and Sun, and Venus. So, Libra? Okay. So, let's see here. So now, wow. Okay, Rahu, Jupiter, and Sun, and Venus. So then now all that's looking at... Okay, Vishaka, okay. Alright, okay, so now that kind of shows this. Well, for one, Lilith in Aries is exalted. Because you're pretty much giving Lilith this. Oh, initiative? I already do what I please, so no... Duh! And the thing with Aries is a sign that is impulsive, takes action, is very fast, doesn't hesitate, and it's very immature, like childish. So Lilith, actually being kind of somewhat robbed of her time of being a maiden youth, you're giving that to her, and she pretty much is able to exert herself in a way that is very powerful, initiative, and prioritizes herself first. But now we're adding in the element of the 10th house. The 10th house is one of the houses that I say that is mostly like a stamp of approval for Lilith. The other ones are the Lugna, the 1st, 4th, 8th, the 10th, and 12th. Those are usually the signs, the houses that you most likely have Lilith agreeing to work with you, but nonetheless. Now you're putting K2 alongside her. Just like Rahu and K2, Lilith is a shadow planet. It's a mathematical point. But now here's the thing with Lilith. You put Lilith with one of the nodes. Usually it's known that the nodes actually takes control and possesses whatever planet they're with, except Jupiter Guru. That's not the case with Lilith. So instead Lilith makes them do this. Oh, you're gonna think that you're gonna be meh about me? No. You're gonna be helping me get to where I need to go for my empowerment. You got it? You got it, K2? Meh. No. You're gonna do what I tell you to. Meh. So that being said, in the 10th house regarding your reputation, in this regard, pretty much you may have the reputation of being seen as a very powerful woman figure, and pretty much your reputation is known to be someone who seems to have a lot of excelling in terms of any kind of, I would have to say, any kind of service or thing that builds a reputation by means of pretty much taking action, but because of it being K2 alongside that, pretty much you're known to be someone who takes the action, is like, okay, whatever, I got this. Now I'm done with it. Okay, oh, I have to do this? There, done. Am I done yet? No? Okay, how about now? Like, you have the reputation of doing work and doing it so quick, but also on point, and then you're so detached from it. But because of you taking the initiative towards completing this work, you become empowered by it, if that makes sense. And because Lilith and K2 being the stuff you already mastered in the previous life, and then Lilith, it kind of shows that in this life you're bringing in a state of self-empowerment already. So pretty much you're walking in like, I already know my confidence. I already know that my empowerment comes from me. I already know how to pretty much captivate other people. And I also know how to take acts of vengeance on somebody by, taking initiative and taking them out right then and there. May not be physical, but verbal. But pretty much it's taking that initiative to get vengeance right then and there. But also there's risks potentially that it could potentially be overkill. But now since Moon is in Vishaka in Libra, that can kind of also hint that Lilith can be either very self-focused or can completely be the opposing, like the other extreme. So one side it can be very self-centered, and then the other side it can be pretty, I would have to say, pretty harsh and pretty cruel to somebody else. If something doesn't uplift you, you just get really kind of disinterested with it. But when something does help you, you actually take full advantage of it. It really depends on, I would have to say, best, depending on what dasha you're running. If you're so happening to run either Moon's dasha or Antra dasha, you can probably see more incidents of it actually supporting you better and like actually making you more grounded and secure. Because since Moon is looking at Lilith, who pretty much is giving Lilith existence, Moon's actually supporting Lilith. And also Saturn dasha in the 8th. But I mean, Saturn in the 8th, though, I mean, oh, wait a minute. So that means Saturn's in your 8th house. That means Shani is looking at your 10th house then, right? With his third aspect. 8th, 9th. Yes, he is. He is. Oh, man. Satvishaka? Oh, man. Now you actually, crap. Since it's Aquarius and he's looking at Aries, well, Saturn's with the third aspect. Pretty much he's telling that 10th house with Lilith and K2, pretty much all the effort you had to put in there, you had to put in more effort for it. Otherwise, the house doesn't stand as it should. But here's the thing, though. Lilith, you can't restrict like how Shani naturally restricts. So if you're needing to put out effort to exert yourself, even if you're kind of meh about it, you're still able to embody your empowerment no matter what. Even if you put in like a little bit of effort, you're still going to be able to do it. Even if sometimes you feel like, how come my reputation is still not as where I want it to be? Pretty much, when you focus on empowering yourself, your sense of, like, your reputation goes up. So if you put yourself first, And if you as well not really comply much with a lot of authority figures, because Lilith is also very rebellious, just like Shani. So adding also in your taking a lot of physical action to rebel against what's not really supporting you, that's also a really favorable thing. And also for that third aspect, you may not need to put in as much effort, but because since you already mastered it, so it's like, why am I putting in effort for this? I've already mastered it, so I'm kind of like meh with it. So most definitely, I would have to say, make sure that with your empowerment though, make sure you're prioritizing your sense of security and your fourth house matters, and prioritize that first. And then as long as you're prioritizing your sense of security and your well-being and feeling grounded and secure and full because of the moon, it'll actually bounce off back to Lilith. And because since you're already empowering yourself with your mental stability and security, it's just going to go back and forth, and it's just going to just really be natural, because K2 is like, I already mastered this thing, Lilith. No, you haven't. You're going to be really going to stick to it and keep doing it, even though you're kind of mad with it. Keep doing it. And then it'll just keep bouncing back and forth. So, and also, because of that K2 placement and with Lilith, whenever it comes to things that are usually darker and a lot more harsh to, like with sand and sea, like if something's very a little bit disturbing, at times you can just be all, okay, guy got his head cut off, so what? Not literally that, but it's just something usually that people will go, in fact, sometimes you might be all, yeah, come on, where's the scary part? You're not easily as intimidated and not really put in a state of paranoia when you see something that usually makes the crowd, you know, shriek, like schoolgirls being chased after, like the groundsman at a school or something. I don't know, I got nothing. At least that's what I got for that placement. It's actually pretty good. So most definitely, if you want to consider working with Lilith, that's probably a good one. Leisha. Oh, I see. And also, whenever if you actually want to activate that Lilith placement, I would say take any of the Mars stones, such as, let's see if I got any. Let's see, come here. I would say take a piece of, I'm using that one though. So you take a piece of either red jade, carnelian, ruby, garnet, another, and black stones such as onyx, jet, black tourmaline. If you really want to be fancy, get some star garnet or ruby, and then just mash off, and then just rub it on your kneecaps. That way you're actually activating your 10th and also empowering the Lilith. And ruby is one of the stones that Lilith really likes. Same thing with garnet and onyx. But if you really want to be extra fancy, heck, go all the way and get yourself something like a piece of tugtupite like this. I can get my finger on it. And this stone's from Greenland. It's kind of a rare one, but yeah. And what I like about this stone is that if you apply enough heat to it, here I'll show you beforehand. See, okay, so you see the white in it? When you apply enough heat to it, it turns pink. So let me just hold that for a bit. Message from the spirit guides, like what they want you to do, Ethan. Do you want the tarot again, or do you want the demons again, or do you want the dark goddesses? I'm gonna need to give myself some water because I'm getting dry mouth. Oh, that's one of the owls or something. I'm like, what the heck is that noise? I think it's a little too early to have hooters out. Oh, that's just vulgar. I think that's okay. But yeah. What is this? Okay. So now, after applying a little bit of heat to this thing, you can kind of see more of the pink in it. because it was not that pink before. Just give him some more magnolia and my obsession of jasmine flower on. Okay, so let's see if these, lovely ladies won't jump out of my hand like that. Okay, so let's see. What they want you to do, well, do you happen to see the word right there? This just got nasty real fast. Well, if you got it, flaunt it. I guess play your allure game. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you got it, flaunt it. You'd probably do a lot better than I was back in high school. At the age of, what was I? Yeah, but at the age of 17, I was pretty much an emo kid. I was like, if anybody comes near me, I'm just going to stab them. I was not social as a kid. I was not really a social one in school. That I kind of hated a lot of people. But yeah, so looks like they want you to let loose. Well, do a flip. Make me proud. Bonus points if you come home with a hot date or something. Oh, no. Being emo is not a bad thing. Oh, no. Emo is never a bad thing. It's just usually, the term emo usually means is usually a lot of, how am I best going to put this? It's essentially being aware of, like, how the world is and how much is, like, I hate everything. And it's usually, some people say, well, it's a phase. Well, some people actually do maintain that style, and it can be seen as a lifestyle. But now, when you take a step further, where it's the self-harm, and doing it just because it's known as a stereotype, then that's where some issues come in. With rubbing the loaf oil concoction on kneecaps, yep. Any loaf oil, that'll work. Okay, Annis, you're next. Hey, Isaac. Planet's at 0 degrees, so whenever there's a planet at 0 degrees, that planet is essentially being like completely jolted in power. It has a lot more energy, it has a lot more significance, and it probably hits harder than if it was in its own sign and mutual grown or even exalted, because it's like being hit by like this electromagnetic point of the Earth where it changes signs. Well, I mean, it really just depends on the person. I mean, I used to dress with that attire too, but I mean, I still have one of the pairs of pants that I used to wear back then, and I still fit in them. Funny enough, I'm a waist size 26. Okay. And Annis, I'll pull your card next. I need to grab something to drink, otherwise I'm gonna be having cotton in my mouth, and I don't want cotton in my mouth. So play nice, kids. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do. Screw it. Be good, don't break anything. I don't have insurance. There better not be any dead people underneath my bed, you people. If there is, well, oh well. Okay. So, Annis, what did you want? Demons? Dark goddesses or tarot? Which one? Keep dropping everything. Well, for me, I don't like calling them angel numbers, but then again, that's just me. Because anything involving that side, I'm kind of like, no, you're not going to force me to do any of that. Goddesses? Okay. Then if that's the case, then... So that means either way, Caleb, your Lilith is still going to be Aquarius. So most definitely Lilith is still going to be that extra rebellious, and whenever you rebel against something that's trying to keep you pinned down, that's when you're going to be more empowered with it. As well, if you also incorporate ideas of being... Up it is, what it is. Is there anything you should know when it comes to working alongside Lilith? Okay. So let's see what other comes out of this thing. If these people would be so kind to unhand themselves. Like, come on, people. I really don't like how these cards are like really too... Not... Okay, screw it. I'm just going to say it. I have absolutely nothing wrong with having, a size that's, bigger than my hand. But this is not the time where I favor, being a size queen. So what? I said it. Deal with it. Okay. Hell. Concealment. So, okay, so when it comes to going towards Loath, probably the best way that I can put this... Don't conceal and don't hide anything of yourself when going towards her. Go towards her in a way like, this is how I am. Take me or leave me. Meh. This is me. Don't hide anything. Don't veil anything. Just go to her as you are and be all, this is me. This is how I is. Now what? You're gonna make fun of me because I'm short? Woo. It's me though. Having that confidence though. Because when you put a veil over yourself, you're also risking this to show a sign that's like, I don't want them to see this part of me. Don't conceal yourself. Just go at her as you would anybody else. Heck, even like as like a best friend, be all like, well, don't call her girl unless if you're really close to her, but if you want to, have at it. So go at her completely open in a way that shows you as you are. Don't go towards her like being like a piece of plastic. That's the best way I can put it. Like, oh, she's fake. None of that. Go as is and have at it. Don't conceal anything at all. Just be you. Dang, doves going, ooh, ooh, ooh. That's a lot of hooting. Somebody get them hooters out of the tree. Somebody get the gun. I see. Every time. It's like whenever I speak, that's when they decide to go. I don't get it. And it's always this time of day. I don't get it. Or crazy pigeons. Actually, whoop, wrong button. Stop hooting. I said stop hooting, not stop Putin, by the way. So, okay, and also, in case if you're new here, why? No. There should also now be super chats available, so if you deem fit to throw something at me, you can. And I'll acknowledge it, of course. Or if you have a question that's like, oh, I want him to answer this question I've been trying to get an answer for weeks. Now's the time to really hit me in the face with it. Just don't be throwing like $1 super chats like nonstop. Yeah. Quit you hooting. Fake Putin. No, really, stop hooting. He ain't the hoot. Milkshake. You definitely ain't a hooter, so stop your fake hooting. Off. You know, if this was like how it was back in the olden days, you'd probably get shot out of a tree. But times have changed. Because not everybody can have a gun. God, it was dark. So other than that, really, nothing. Will you stop hooting? Gosh. Okay, can somebody come get their Hooters, please? I think they've been, abandoned again. If that's your mating call, Mr. Hooter, you ain't hooting nobody. You ain't the hoot. So, a scoot. Damn it. So, other than that, yeah, pretty much it's really just open floor. I'm curious to see who's going to be the first one to be the first super chatter, but meh. And all the time. I swear to Lord Lanta, you're going to be wishing you weren't being a hooter. You're probably hoping that you didn't, wind up being on one of them DVDs. One of them naughty ones. Mm-hmm. Kind of wish you weren't going to be on one of those, huh? Well, at that rate, you're going to be on one of them hooter ones. Crazy pigeons. So other than that, really nothing has been really different. Except there was one more thing that I'm trying to remember. If I can find it. Oh. You know what really grinds my gears sometimes? Yeah, we're going in that route. sometimes I wonder, why in the heck? Rude? No. Don't know what that was, but let's hope it doesn't do it again. It kind of makes me kind of a little bit annoyed when somebody is using their religious belief as a weapon instead of, you know, using it as in terms of bettering their life and having a expansion of philosophical and wisdom and pretty much in betterment of life. But instead they decide to pick it up like a beating stick and start brandishing it all over the place. Because that's not really the intention of having faith and belief. And most definitely, if there's some kind of thought that's like, well, women are subservient to us. Milkshake, do you realize what you just said? Subservient? Cupcake. Well, let's make this idiot proof. Which of the two genders can withstand the most pain? If you said woman, you're correct. Next. Which gender is more intelligent? Even though the brain's smaller. Correct, it's the woman's. Next. If man does not have a woman, does he find God? No, he doesn't. So, I think a woman is kind of a necessity. That's none of my business. Because I really don't like or agree with the concept of pretty much taking a human being and seeing them as less than an animal. And whenever a man makes a mistake, he just blames her and gets off the hook. If that isn't like enabling out of line behavior, I don't know what is. That's like pretty much blaming a woman for being pointed at. Yet he was pointing at her. Yeah, but that way. Somehow it's her fault for being pointed at from something that she doesn't even have attached to her. But it's her fault? Okay. Because to me, it really doesn't make sense. And how about instead of, neglecting to take responsibility, how about we just stand up on our own 2 feet and just say, yeah, I lost control of myself and I grew up her. So what? You did. But if you're going to blame her for you groping her, that don't make sense. And quite frankly, if somebody is going off of just how a book is and what it says to do, and if it's in that same book says to do this to another human being, I'm not really sure if that should be deemed as religious betterment or empowerment and pretty much expansion of this universal uplifting being. Because that's not really uplifting if you have to cripple and knock down someone and treat them as if they're inferior to every other person that's a male. That's not, no. Because like what I say about anything like that. It doesn't matter what your faith is. If you're stupid, you're stupid. If you think it's a good idea to jump off a cliff face first and you don't care matter what your faith is, well, you're still stupid. You can even have a doctrine degree. If you jump off a cliff, you're still stupid. You have a lot of intelligence, but wisdom, you're kind of lacking in that. And that's different. Wisdom is making a sound decision and making a strong, practical choice. That's the least likely to cause risk and harm to you. Intelligence is knowing that this will probably happen, or knowing of situations that can happen, but making the choice. If you don't have wisdom, you probably can't get the intelligence. But if you have the wisdom, you can probably see about trying to figure out the best way to gain the intelligence. If you have the intelligence, but if you're going to make stupid decisions, well, you knew what to do, but you chose to be stupid. There's the lack of wisdom. Fine line of difference. Other than that, really, I mean, it's pretty quiet in there. Oh, hey, Solas. He's such a sweetheart. By the way. He's such a sweetheart. He may look tough, but he's really a gentleman. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, I do also want to give a shout out to 2 of these left-hand divines. Let me just get Easy Cupcake. Let me just get their cards out real quick. If they'd be so kind to make themselves known. One's a king. There's one of them. Okay, come on. You better not make me want to have a conga line come about again. And if you know who I'm referencing from that, yep, you're right. It was that one. Where the heck are you, dude? Come on. No. Come on. Close. Gomery almost got me. There he is. So, two raising the snap cups. There, I raised the snap cup. You can snap if you deem fit. Snaps to Duke Arvarus and the King Paimon. There, I snapped for him. Because both of them pretty much, I'd even ask them to. They pretty much gave a lot of ground being covered in two end results that I've been wanting to work towards. Yeah, they both pretty much, not yesterday, but the day before, they were like, oh, you need help with that? I didn't even ask you guys yet about that. And I even told you guys, I'd rather, build this connection first. But okay, alright, not bad. Do you want fries with that? Yeah, but still. So yeah, Duke Arvarus and King Paimon. Thank you two. Love you to death. And for goodness sakes, King Paimon, if you're going to have a conga line, let me know next time. That way, I won't be all just sitting there like, how come the conga line's happening again and I'm not invited? Still. Anyway. It's really quiet. Did I have the chat off? Oh, there we go. Sorry. For some reason, my, the live chat somehow didn't work. Alt chat didn't work for some reason. Okay, now that I'm here. Okay. Okay, now that I can see the question, so Annis, what is Lucifer like? Well, best said, he's, like I've said, he's, imagine if honey could talk. Yeah. Very uplifting, very sweet, and he kind of wants to know what he can do to make you happy. But yeah, essentially, Lucifer pretty much is always wanting to know what you want. What can he do to make you enjoy this time on Earth? Yes. It's okay. Okay, I'm gonna try and catch up on all these, because somehow this thing didn't tell me. The question, what goddess is really calling to you? Okay. I'm just gonna go with this. See which one comes out. And look at that. She just flew out of the deck. Let me get back here. Okay. Ugh. I gotta get back up. What? Oh, I'm getting over this crap. God bloody dang it. Ugh. Persephone. Seems like that might be the one. Divya? I think that's how you say your name. Yeah. Whoop. Properly, it's going to be Persephone for that one. Okay, next. Wisdom from experience. I'm having trouble on moving on in a situation. Yes. Destiny stealing the violation of privacy. What did you mean by that? Leela? I think I said your name right, I hope. What do you mean by that, Lena? Have I ever worked with angels before? Many moons ago, like at the very beginning that I started Occult. Yes, I did. And I kind of felt like, how come this thing is getting a little bit too pushy with me? I didn't like it, honestly. I kind of felt like, oh, easy, Cupcake. You're who? That's nice, but how about you don't demand me to do nothing? Stop it. Yeah, I didn't get along with him that well. So, yeah, after a while of going through that. Not really good. Have I had experiences with ghosts? Yes, I have. Numerous times. In fact, let me show you a picture. Actually, I have two. Please hold. I'm going to show you two pictures. No, you dimwit. Okay. 1, 2, kinky. Ah, oh, that sounded weird. Yes, Annis is Persephone. That was the card I pulled for you. Anyway. You happen to see that? You happen to see a ghost figure? Or like a spirit figure in that? There we go. Do you see it? I hope so. Because there's the eyes right there. There's a mouth. There's a nose. Split down the middle. You have a light side and a dark side. And this is the Norse goddess Hel. And funny enough, this was actually inside of a house where I was living at a few years back. And this was at the front door. Because if you, I don't know, no, there's no way, because the way the picture is, there's no way to see the door handle. Aquarius, the Black Moon Love in the 7th house. Do you know what sign she's in? Because without the sign, I'm not really going to be able to tell much. But now there's that one. And then here's this pretty much the same spirit. But now I'm in the picture. But yeah. You see, well, to be quite honest, this actually was not photoshopped, not edited at all. You notice how perfectly split down the middle it is? I couldn't even make that perfectly down the middle if I tried. If I was trying to edit this thing. And how one side of it is completely colored. and the other side is just black and white. I just took a picture and all of a sudden, oh hi Hal, you photobombed me. Mm-hmm. You know, might be terrifying, but yeah, no. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 7th house is Scorpio. That would make you a Taurus Lugna then. So in that regard, it would be best said that well, Lilith co-rules the sign of Scorpio, but in the 7th house, she's kind of a little agitated to be there. Because in order for her to get empowered, she has to rely on somebody else. So that being said, your sense of empowerment actually comes by knowing the secrets or using occult means to actually help learn secrecies that the normal population doesn't know. And when you're actually able to learn or actually practice occult means that actually influences people, that's when you actually discover your true empowerment. But also the way that you actually get vengeance be done is if you actually use occult means to actually manipulate people into doing what you want them to do. And also the way you get acts of vengeance done is by actually best said, you can actually manipulate people into actually exposing each other's secrets, because that's Scorpio. And also your empowerment also can come from a spouse figure that's actually pretty intelligent in the occult field. So if you have a spouse figure that is very in line with the occult, that individual will actually help you find your empowerment too. But just know that Scorpio is crazy and all over the place, and you never know what's going to happen with it. Lucifer is associated with the signs Taurus, Libra, and I think that was a Taurus and Libra, because those are Venus signs. While Saturninus is related to Aquarius and Capricorn. And I mean, overall, it's a placement with Lilith in her own sign of Scorpio, but in the 7th house where she's kind of a little agitated to be in. It's still a good spot. It's just, it's best said to be very careful not to get too carried away when if you're going to be using occult means to, get people to do your bidding. Just don't get too carried away with it, because it can be very, how do I put this? It can be very thrilling to do it, but just, be responsible with it. But have bonus points if you actually do it and you get him to jump off a cliff. Bonus points, but I digress. I'll grab myself another drink, because now here comes the dry mouth again. Yeah. Don't break anything. Mm-hmm. As long as I do as I please. I'm just saying. Speaking of that, I've also have a new logo for myself, I guess. Stop your hooting. Yeah, but it's just like the same one on that one, but I kind of changed it up a little bit. Yeah. That's probably going to be like the new way my logo is going to be. Ugh. Probably might be better if it's like afternoon, but anyway. Probably going to go and get my morning shower and do my daily morning routine because I'm like, ugh. Because I didn't sleep at all last night. Smart decision. Anyway, so if anything, I might be back on like shortly later after I wash myself. But other than that, see you guys then.